Big news from YieldMax ETFs, they're shifting all their single stock option income ETFs to weekly distributions. That means no more waiting for monthly payouts. Now you get cash in your account every week. The ETFs are split into two groups. Group 1 declares distributions every Tuesday and pays out Thursday, featuring funds like ULTY, CHPY, and LFGY. Group 2 declares Wednesday and pays Friday, mostly covering the single stock income ETFs that previously paid monthly. This change by YieldMax is clearly driven by investor demand. Over the past few months, we've seen money slowly moving out of some of their funds as investors chase better alternatives, like Roundhill or Rec shares. In many ways, this is a classic example of a first mover disadvantage. YieldMax was one of the first to bring these single stock option income ETFs to market, but being first doesn't automatically guarantee long-term dominance. Innovation and adaptation matter just as much, if not more, and in this case, it feels like they were slow to react as competition caught up. So, what does this change mean for investors? Honestly, I see it as a welcome development in the sense that YieldMax is showing they can pivot and respond to feedback. They're not as stubborn as I initially thought. Weekly distributions are certainly a step in the right direction. It aligns with what investors want and what newer funds are already offering. But let's be realistic. For the funds themselves, this doesn't fundamentally fix the bigger issues. Think of it like what we saw with ULTY when it went weekly. The structure is the same, the underlying risks are still there, and for investors, it's still mostly a slow bleed, just less obvious because you're seeing distributions more frequently. Where YieldMax really needs to improve is in innovation. They need to take a page from these newer funds, maybe even borrow some ideas, add a touch of leverage to certain products. There's nothing wrong with copying strategies if it makes the fund better and more competitive. The reality is, other firms have done exactly that and turned copied ideas into superior products. I genuinely don't understand how management can see competition approaching and still be slow to pivot. It shows a lack of urgency and determination to remain at the top of the game. This isn't new behavior either. It's the same team behind ULTY, a fund that was run into the ground over almost a year before they finally made some adjustments. That history makes me skeptical about their ability to truly innovate and execute going forward. For me personally, this weekly distribution change is not enough to make YieldMax a viable investment option in my portfolio. I'll still be staying away from all their funds until I see more meaningful improvements, things that genuinely enhance total return potential and address the structural weaknesses that have been there for a long time. So that's my take on this change. It's a step in the right direction, sure, but far from a game changer. Hopefully, YieldMax takes the feedback seriously, innovates faster, and comes back with funds that can compete with the newer, nimbler players in this space.